Here we are. Welcome to another edition of Neighborhood Training. This week we are going to do a relatively small neighborhood. We're going to be talking about the Trotting Park Road neighborhood of T-Ticket. T-Ticket basically it runs over to Brick Hill, Gifford Street, and over to Coonamassa River down in East Falmouth, and up to north of Sandwich Road, up to Hatchville, and down to essentially down to Stop and Shop down 28. But this area here, we're going to probably we're all familiar with it. Trotting Park Road, Gifford Street to the left, and Trotting Park Road. There's only a few roads on there, and as we can see from here, one of the things we will notice when we look at it is there quite a few areas that are still open land, and by that I mentioned places like this here, and places down in here where we see this large open areas where people actually have farms, or perhaps they're grazing areas for their animals and so forth. And I guess right off the bat they would say, okay, we got animals there, so we look for barns and so forth. But when we do have these open areas like this, then we could have little grass fires and so forth. But by being parceled out like that, there's not too much of an opportunity to get a large brush fire going. Whereas if we looked a little bit to the left, as we talked about before, over in Goodwill Park and different places that are large woodlands, we do have a great area. But that's Trotting Park, and we'll take a quick look at the town GIS on the town's website. And basically Trotting Park Road, and especially the southern end of Trotting Park Road, is really the heart of the little village of T-Ticket. The intersection of Sandwich Road and T-Ticket Highway in Trotting Park has long been part of the village of T-Ticket, and the people that live on Trotting Park Road are probably well, I tell you that they definitely live in the heart of T-Ticket. But we see here we do have a nice blue line running down the middle of it, so that means we have hydrants that run throughout. There's not too many side roads, only short little side roads, and many of them have hydrants. There is one exception, and we will spend some time looking at that on our maps here. And one map I want to have, we don't have up here, so we will work on this map here. The gallonage range in this area for the hydrants is basically 800 to 1,000 gallons a minute, and we run from Brick Hill Road all the way down to Sandwich Road, to the terminus in the Sandwich Road. And we'll use this map here to outline our road and our neighborhood here. And as we'll see, where we come in off of Brick Hill Road, there is a cluster of houses here on the right hand side as we come down, with a hydrant down the middle. These are all, this is not a separate road, these are all just Trotting Park Road addressed houses. They all have what they call pork chop lots, even though they're all accessed by a common driveway, and they'll have Trotting Park Road numbers on them. And the high end there, you'll see some of the numbers will go as high as 300 down here. And this Mill Road actually isn't a road at all. One of the things that I want to touch on here, one of the unique things about Trotting Park Road that we do have to keep in mind, is it does have one of the old roads of Falmouth that basically is just an old cart path that now gotten a little bit more developed over time. It's Percival Road. And Percival Road is basically just an access road. It's never a town accepted road, just an access road for these houses in here. So Percival will have a sign here on Trotting Park, and we'll run down. Just recently been more developed than it has in the past. However, most of the houses up until basically this time are, really smaller cottages out in the woods off a dirt road. But I've seen by driving down there, there's quite a few more newer houses, and some of the older ones have been torn down. So once we get down Percival, it runs pretty straight, and then we run Percival off of Sandwich Road down by the old eatery restaurant and the Falmouth greenhouse. It does kind of backtrack here and then kind of merge into this dirt road that runs down to Trotting Park. And off of that we have Julius Road, which is a small road here, but it looks like a few of the numbers, these numbers here, are numbered on Julius, where these ones here, these pork chop lots here, are actually part of Trotting Park Road. And then we have Trotting Lane in Harness Drive off of Trotting Park. And when we move down a little bit further, we will see that there is, the only other road beyond that is Palomino Drive. And this, of course, backs up to a little wetland. We had spoken to Pine Valley Drive and the Trotting Park Fields, and the power lines run up through the middle here. So and this is where a lot of these farmhouses and so forth are. And we'll slide down. There we go. This Palomino Drive. This old John Lumbert Road in the I think it's John Gifford or whatever road. Those don't exist. Those are old roads in Falmouth. They're basically just map roads. And the other at the terminus where it meets T-Ticket Highway is the T-Ticket Hills condominium development. It used to be an old farmhouse there, but since that time they bought the farmhouse property and turned quite a few condos there, T-Ticket Hills. But we do have a hydrant right out in the front. So that really ends up. The low numbers are on T-Ticket Highway and run across over up to the 300 range on Trotting Park. And now we'll take a quick look at some of the pictures of the buildings that are in that area. And first off, we might as well, since we're talking about it, we might as well talk about the T-Ticket Hills condo development. I know we've been there for a few rescues here and there, and there is to the left of this picture and to the east of this condo development is a office building. I know we've been there a few times, a couple of doctors in there, and as you can see, it's pretty well set up development, looking to be here. Now, things I wanted to point out, we can't really see them too well in this picture here, but one thing I noticed, obviously the hydrant right at the beginning, but you see the ramp going into this first building here. That would indicate to me that there is some person there that needs the ramp. They got to be a wheelchair or incapacitated. Obviously our pre-made vent holes up at the top here. but it also, by this dividing fence, would tell me that it's a duplex. Oh, just the little things that we look through, but actually this place back here looks to be a single-family unit, but seems to be connected perhaps through this little entranceway to another single-family over here. So, we do have a multi-family complex there, relatively new, so it's probably fairly well constructed. And we will work our way up from there. At the entrance to now on the road itself, we will see houses like this. 398. Some of the houses up further up on Trotting Park. This one here is an older house, probably built in the 40s or 50s. It obviously looks abandoned. So there are a couple of houses up there that do look abandoned. We also have structures such as this, which is relatively unusual in that it is a brick house, probably a brick exterior, which will hold the heat for us more. If we do have a fire in there, in this building itself doesn't look like anybody's around. Newspaper out in front. That place looks like it's abandoned as well, or at least vacant. I shouldn't necessarily say abandoned, but at least vacant anyway. And we have another house here. It's kind of a farmhouse here with wood shingle roofs. Looks fairly new and pretty good in shape. With a the thing to notice here, we got an outside propane tank. So we have also on the we do have two or three hazards that I wanted to point out on this on Trotting Park. Most all of it is single-family dwellings, but this building here is the Periwinkle Montessori School. It's near Palomino Drive, and they do have I think they have just younger grades there, up to like 5th grade in the school. And then we also have another daycare down at the other end, the Brickhill Road end, Magic Years Daycare Center. So that would be one of our hazards. And one of our other hazards I didn't point out, but at the T-Ticket Towing Complex, I'll point it out on the map as we go by. You probably wouldn't notice the road. It looks like a house out front, but there is a garage out back where they do car repair and car painting and so forth. So, that would present a hazard for us. And we have at the beginning of Percival Road, on the Sandwich Road end, we have a house in the back here, but in the front we have these greenhouses. And normally you wouldn't think there'd be a fire hazard and so forth, but just mentioning that there are heaters to these in the wintertime. These are for the Falmouth greenhouse, so they would have heaters, perhaps propane or somehow powered, but also stored in here could be certain amounts of fertilizer and so forth. So that would be unusual if we were to come across. And I think that was the T-Ticket Hills. All right. Let's just do a quick review of the neighborhood here. And I wanted to point out the T-Ticket towing area here is right in here, just after Palomino Drive. I believe it's right in this area here. So that's where they do have the hazards there. And we want to look quickly at this Trotting Park Road neighborhood. primarily wood frame, 800, say some of the smaller houses, 2,500 square feet, many small 50-year-old plus cottages. Trotting Park Road, Harness Drive, Trotting Lane, Julius, Palomino, Percival. All hydrants except Percival. Percival is longer than 1,200 feet. As we'll see in this map here, we see if this comes up quick here. But we see Percival Road here, there's no hydrants on it, and we do have areas here that are longer than 1,200 feet. So we do have to be concerned about that. All right. And our target hazards: Magic Years Daycare, Periwinkle, Montessori, T-Ticket Towing. Response time: headquarters is headquarters and Station 5 are just about equidistant, 2.5 miles. So they should get there just about the same time. And Station 4 is only shortly beyond that, really, 3.5 miles, about a minute or so back. 2 is the next closest, and 3 is the furthest away. So that kind of wraps up a really short presentation on the Trotting Park Road neighborhood. And hopefully that helped us become a little bit more familiar with another section of Falmouth. All right. Thank you, and catch you next time.